made things a bit tricky. But I'm pretty confident that none of us have lived in homes quite like the ones we're about to show you today. From an airplane house to a pie house, these videos are sure to make you do a double take. So sit back and enjoy as we take a tour of the 15 most unusual houses in the world. The Hobbit House. If you're a fan of The Hobbit, you've probably fantasized about living in one of those charming little hobbit homes. Well, guess what? You actually can! Sure, there are a few in New Zealand near the Hobbiton movie set, but did you know there are some in Wales too? Rabbit's View is one of 5 hobbit houses owned by Holidays Wales, and it's no wonder why it's always booked up for months ahead. This adorable abode can sleep up to 6 guests in 3 cozy bedrooms, and the master bedroom even boasts a luxurious freestanding bathtub with views of rolling hills. The open-plan living area is equally impressive, with a beautiful green sofa, a pink kitchen, and outdoor seating. And on a warm summer evening, you can even toast marshmallows under the stars from the comfort of your own hot tub. Rabbit's View is as charming as it is absurd, featuring natural materials like wood and stone throughout. The curved bathroom has brick walls, wood floors, and a live edge vanity unit. People who have stayed there say it's just as amazing as it looks in the photos, and even celebrities have taken notice. According to the owners, these hobbit houses are so popular because there's nothing else like them in the area. It's no wonder people can't get enough of living like Bilbo Baggins. The Cabin. Sometimes you need to take a break from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, am I right? But even when you book a hotel or motel room, you're still surrounded by that fast-paced lifestyle. That's where the Cabin comes in, a romantic room Martin and Gustav Suren designed as part of the Tree Hotel Tree Room setup. This cozy capsule-shaped double room is perched high up in a tree overlooking Sweden's stunning Lula River Valley. You'll be treated to breathtaking views of nature as far as the eye can see, and you'll have to cross a long bridge to reach the cabin's door. But it's worth it, trust me. Once you're inside, you'll be greeted with a large bed in the center of the room, offering high-altitude views of the river and forest. There's also plenty of comfortable seating to relax and take in the beauty around you. And don't worry, there's even a terrace and a toilet in the 24-square-foot cabin room. But the best part? When you book the cabin or any of the other tree rooms with Tree Hotel, you get a delicious buffet breakfast included. And if the cabin happens to be overbooked, no worries, there are plenty of other unique options to choose from. Like the Mirror Cube, which blends seamlessly into its surroundings. Or the Bird's Nest, which looks like it disappears right into the tree. Or the Biosphere, a hotel room designed to attract wildlife. So, if you're looking for a truly unforgettable escape, look no further than Tree Hotel and its amazing tree rooms. Trust me, you won't regret it. The Flintstones House. Architects love to experiment with new building styles and materials, and that's exactly what William Nicholson did when he built what's now known as the Flintstone House in Hillsborough, California. Built in 1976, the unique dome-shaped home overlooks the Doran Memorial Bridge and is easily seen from it. William used wire mesh frames over aeronautical balloons, steel rebar, and shotcrete to create the striking 2,700-square-foot home with 3 bedrooms, a spiral staircase, 2-car garage, and 2 bathrooms. All interior surfaces are round, and instead of tiled flooring, the architect used rocks to give it a prehistoric feel. Originally painted off-white, the house was later repainted orange with a single purple dome to make it stand out even more. Sadly, the house fell into disrepair in the mid-1980s due to water runoff from the mountainside, which damaged the foundation and caused cracks in the walls. The Flintstone house had to undergo extensive restoration in the late 1980s, with further remodeling done in the early 2000s. The Flintstone house gained its name from its resemblance to the home of the famous cartoon character Fred Flintstone. But in 2017, the current owners took the Flintstone feel of the house to the next level by adding steel sculptures of Fred Flintstone, dinosaurs, a giraffe, and a woolly mammoth in the yard. It's a sight to behold, and while it might not be everyone's cup of tea, it's definitely a conversation starter. Hidden apartments. A businessman in China purchases a spacious 18th-floor penthouse apartment in a towering skyscraper, and everyone goes about their day, minding their own business. It's not until later that other residents start noticing some rather peculiar things about the building. For one, the businessman has a rooftop garden, but he adds more plants and trees. At first, residents thought he was trying to gain more privacy, but then a camouflage net goes up on the side of the garden. What could he be hiding? As it turns out, he was building 2 more stories onto the building. But it wasn't exactly legal. The building was only supposed to have 18 stories, but the 2 extra ones needed to be officially registered. Concerned locals reported the issue to council officials, worried about the safety of their own apartments below. But despite complaints and concerns, nothing was done. The businessman was influential and had connections, making it difficult for officials to take action. 2 years later, in 2014, the illegal apartments were still there, and the local council still needed to address the situation. Talk about a wild ride in the world of real estate. Dome homes. Imagine losing your home to an earthquake and not having the means to rebuild it. That's what happened to many people in Yogyakarta, Indonesia in 2006. But thankfully, Domes for the World, a US-based business, stepped in to help. Along with the World Association of Non-Governmental Organizations and Emaar Properties, they built dome-shaped concrete homes that were economical, fireproof, bug-proof, and energy efficient. These homes were also able to withstand natural disasters like earthquakes and wind up to 300 kilometers an hour. Thanks to the $1 million donation from Emaar Properties, more than 70 domes were built, including 6 toilets, a kindergarten, and a mosque. And the best part, according to architect Rick Crandall, it took just 1 day to set up a dome home and another 3 to complete the interior, making the entire complex finished in just 5 months. Thanks to Domes for the World, many people were able to regain their homes and start anew after a devastating natural disaster. Heliodome. Do you know how everyone is trying to make small changes to live more sustainably? Like buying energy-efficient appliances or recycling their plastic and paper? Well, Eric Wasser wanted more than just that. He wanted to impact the environment significantly, so he did something extraordinary. He built an eco-friendly home from scratch. As a skilled cabinet maker, Eric knew exactly what he wanted in his new home. The style inspires the shape of the house, and it's designed to harness energy from the sun to power itself. Plus, Eric fixed it at just the right angle to provide shade during the warmer months of the year, keeping the house cool and comfortable. But that's not all. Eric also filled his home with furniture he crafted himself, which has become a hit with the locals. The house is undeniably unique and impressive, but only some are fans. Some say it looks more like a spacecraft than a French cottage. Hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, right? But you know what's really amazing? Eric's home is not only good for the environment, but it's also great for his bank account. He's able to save a lot of money on his power bill by relying on renewable energy sources. And who wouldn't want to save some cash while taking care of Mother Earth? So the next time you're thinking about making small changes to live more sustainably, remember Eric Wasser and his incredible eco-friendly home. Sometimes a significant change is just what the planet needs. Pie House. Have you ever heard of the Pie House or Skinny House in Deerfield, Illinois? This unique property recently sold for $260,000, and it's easy to see why it's called the Pie House. From one end, it's just 3 feet wide, but it spans out to 20 feet wide at the other end like a slice of pie. People used to laugh at the size of this house until they went inside, and then they were in for a surprise. Despite its unusual shape, the house has a lot of space. It sits on a 3,876-foot lot and offers over 1,600 square feet of living space. It has 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and even a basement, making it an ideal investment property, first home, or plan to downsize. Inside, the narrow end of the house has been cleverly used as a bathroom and storage area, while the broader areas serve as living and bedroom spaces. The living area has an open-plan design, making it feel even more spacious than it already is. So, be aware of the house's exterior appearance, because it's much larger and more practical than it appears. And maybe the house was bought by someone who really loves pie. S House. If you're looking for a home with a unique design, the S House in Saitama, Japan might catch your eye. Built by Yusuke Karasawa in 2013, this stunning house is a true masterpiece of modern architecture. It features 2 floors, each covering an area of 50 square meters, crossing over each other in the center, and stacked levels intertwining between the basement and roof terrace. However, the most unusual feature of this house is that it's mostly made of windows, which means you're always on display. People can see everything you're doing from the street, except when you're in the bathroom. It's a design sure to turn heads, but you might wonder how practical it is. Would you feel comfortable having dinner with your family, knowing that passers-by can see every move you make? And what about your bedroom? Would you be okay with strangers peeking inside while you're getting dressed or reading on the sofa? The S House is definitely only for some, but if you're a modern art and design fan, it might be the perfect fit for you. An airplane house. When we were kids, we used to have some pretty wild dreams. Most of the time, they remain just that, fantasies. But for one man, Michael Suleiman, his dream was to build an airplane house, and he made that dream come true. Back in 1975, in the village of Mizyara, Lebanon, Suleiman constructed a house that looked exactly like an Airbus A380. Instead of buying and remodeling a plane, Suleiman wanted to build something that looked like a plane but wasn't one, and the result was truly impressive. The airplane house has 41 portholes, just like a real plane, to maximize the stunning views. And it even has 2 stories inside, connected by a spiral staircase. The interior is stylish and chic, with beige wood and white throughout, and you'd never guess you were inside something that looked like an aircraft if it weren't for the porthole windows. The airplane house sits on a fenced-off platform overlooking the beautiful Mediterranean Sea. Although Suleiman now lives in Australia, he still owns the airplane house in Lebanon, a testament to the fact that sometimes dreams can become a reality. A house on a rock. Tired of pushy salespeople interrupting your day with unwanted door-to-door sales pitches? Well, I've got a unique dwelling to share with you. Meet the Drina House, a small yet charming hut perched on a rocky outcrop in the middle of the Drina River. With stunning vistas as far as the eye can see, it's the perfect spot for anyone seeking a peaceful escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. But here's the catch: you won't be able to drive up to it. The story of the Drina House dates back to 1968, when a group of friends decided to take a break on a nearby rock while playing in the river. They found the rock uncomfortable, so they brought some wooden boards to make it more habitable. The boards soon turned into a small hut, and within a year, Malika Monditz and his friends had built a refuge they could use during the hot summer months. The building process was no easy feat. They had to transport building materials by boat and kayak, even floating more extensive materials down the river and catching them at the rocky outcrop. Over the years, the unpredictable flow of the Drina River has destroyed the hut countless times, but each time it's been rebuilt, capturing the hearts of visitors worldwide. So, if you're up for an adventure and want to experience the Drina House's unique charm and beauty, be prepared to leave the car behind and take a boat to this one-of-a-kind refuge. A toilet-shaped house. Toilets. We all use them, but have you ever thought about how much they mean to some people? Sim Jae-duk certainly did. Born in a toilet himself, he grew up with a passion for these facilities that most of us take for granted. When he became mayor of Suwon in South Korea, he led a program to improve the city's public toilets. Later, he founded the World Toilet Association, hoping to inspire other cities around the world to do the same. But Sim Jae-duk's love for toilets didn't stop there. In 2007, he demolished his house and built a new one in the shape of a toilet. He called it Haewulje, which translates to a house to fulfill a long-cherished wish in Korean. The name comes from how toilets are often referred to in Korean temples. Sadly, Sim Jae-duk passed away, and the city took over ownership of his toilet-shaped dream home. But instead of demolishing it, they transformed it into a toilet museum, where visitors can marvel at toilet-themed artwork, an oversized squatty potty, and even a massive golden poop sculpture. Who knew that a subject that's typically taboo could inspire such passion and creativity? Carrot House in Poland. If you're a fan of cozy living spaces, you might be intrigued by the Carrot House in Warsaw, Poland. But if you're claustrophobic, there might be a better place for you elsewhere. Tucked away between 2 buildings, the Carrot House is believed to be the narrowest house in the world, measuring just 36 inches wide at its thinnest point. Before the Polish Modern Art Foundation acquired the space, locals used the narrow alleyway to dump their unwanted furniture and trash. But architect Jakob Stunzner had a vision for the space, and in 2012, he built a compact home that has now been open to the public for over a decade. Despite its tiny size, the 2-floor Carrot House boasts a kitchen, bathroom, living area, and bedroom. However, these spaces measure at most 48 inches wide, so it's not a place for those needing a lot of space. To access the home, you'll have to climb down a drop-down ladder which forms the floor of the first-floor living space. On this floor, you'll find a cramped living room, a kitchen with a sink, fridge, and stove, and a bathroom with a shower. The ladder connects the first floor to the second floor, which has a desk and a single bed. While it's definitely cozy, there's only enough room for one person to stay comfortably. If you're an artist in need of a short-term stay, the Carrot House might be perfect for you. Property patron Edgar Carrot makes the space available for overnight stays, and it's certainly a unique experience. Just don't plan on staying too long, as being in such a small space for an extended period of time might drive you a bit crazy. Pyramid House. Get ready to discover a new level of architectural quirkiness, folks! You were mistaken if you thought the airplane-shaped house in Mizyara, northern Lebanon, was the only attention-grabbing home in town. The village is renowned for constructing homes resembling ancient ruins and temples, so it's no surprise that they've built a house shaped like an Egyptian pyramid. Little is known about who built it or who currently resides in it, but it is believed to be a fully functional home. With windows on each side, a sheltered front entrance, and a neatly manicured lawn, this pyramid-shaped house looks like something straight out of the history books. The most intriguing part is that it sits right among other ordinary-looking homes, making it an even more extraordinary sight to behold. Egg-shaped mobile home. Don't be alarmed if you're strolling through Beijing and stumble upon an egg-shaped structure. It's just the innovative solution of 24-year-old architecture graduate Dai Haifei to the city's sky-high rental prices. Instead of forking over a fortune on rent, Dai built his own portable home, which he lived in for at least 2 months before his story went viral. But don't be fooled by its small size.